Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Remember that famous line in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when Rick Moranis says,
Honey,
"Honey, I Shrunk the
honey,
Kids."
honey, or Roy, what's his name? I can't remember. It's been too long since I watched
Raymond
it. It's been like
Stantz.
for a week since I saw it,
Yeah,
so yeah, I don't remember.
I just watched it. I don't remember.
Slavinsky, Ray
Oh, Wayne,
Slavinsky,
Wayne,
Wayne Slavinsky,
Slavinsky. Yeah.
Slavinsky, or something like that. Yeah,
We watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because the Chance Time Wheel decided it to be so.
it did. It decided. It dictated, and then I got COVID, which I'm still recovering from. So, apologies for any hacks or coughs or, general grossness. But that is the state of things. As is the state of my room, which is a state, as always. But that's
Sure.
actually getting cleaned like I am. So
Sure.
yeah.
Anyway, Honey,
It's
I
like
Shrunk
Wayne
the Kids.
he cleaned the room, and that's how the whole the whole problem started.
Yeah, though, and the problem was escalated because they didn't mow the lawn early enough. If you had mowed it earlier, it would be a lot easier. A lot easier movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Well,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a movie I knew about or had seen in passing growing up, very young age. So
yes.
this is
Yeah.
basically like watching it for the first time for me. It is fresh.
Yeah, and I'd watched it quite a few times when I was younger. I want to say like the last time I'd seen it was probably like 20 years ago. It could have been more. I could have been younger than 10 the last time I saw it. So it had been a significant amount of time since I had seen it. But it actually reminded me. It unlocked a memory that I had completely forgotten about, but it completely made sense for the rest of the trajectory of my life. I think this is the movie that when I was younger, like made me attracted to blondes. Because I remember having huge crush on that older sister.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I remember having just this massive crush on her. So,
That changed your life? That changed your life?
I was probably like 6, so yeah, I guess it did.
Yeah, and one of my favorite scenes actually is when she's singing. I think that's just a fun scene. Yeah.
Oh, the dancing scene?
She's
Yeah,
jamming in.
that's what I mean. It was that scene where I was like, oh, okay, I remember this. This is like a somewhat sexual awakening for like 6-year-old Alec. I was like, okay, I remember this now. I was like,
It's such an innocent scene, though.
no, it is, but the thing is, it's like, to me, it was like it was
Sullied it
just
with
one of
your
those
dirty
things where I was
thoughts.
like, not really. I mean, it was just like, oh, she's really cute and
Yeah.
she's having fun, and I
You
remember
saw
liking that
yourself
when I
in
was
that. You saw yourself in that young man.
Yeah, I guess I did in the brother. Yeah.
Russ
bit.
is his name.
Russell?
Russell.
Yeah.
Russell. I got the little brother. Her little brother, Nicky, or Nick.
Yep.
What was her name?
Amy? I feel like her name's Amy. Can confirm. Her name is Amy.
Tabulating.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I will say I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did too. I really liked it a lot. It's a very good like kids adventure film. I really, it's fun. It's goofy. There's nothing in it that's like feels too kiddie, and there's nothing in it that feels like overtly like way too adult, like out of place. Like it's a really good family movie, and I think that's probably why I watched it so much. 'Cause it was just kind of a safe, easy movie to put on and to just enjoy with the folks. So
It's pretty wholesome, and there's some fun antics that go on later on. And I like how they tied it in with the whole lawnmower thing. They did like nice little storytelling or writing decisions where it's like, oh, he's gonna come back later to mow the lawn. If he had mowed it earlier, then this movie has no plot basically because their whole troubles because they're stuck in this unmowed lawn and all the
so like
stuff in there.
all those little details they set up early on are all sort of brought. There's no wasted detail. which is it's nice. It's good to have a nice tight movie like that. It was particularly with a plot that's as zany but still simple as this one. So
I will say the Ron, the boy, annoys me. He really annoyed me. I found him very unlikable, and I still hate the dad. Like he's a very annoying character to me. Or not the main dad, the other dad.
Oh yeah. You know who I found? What I found out crazily enough, he played. Oh shoot! Because I was looking him up because I was like, why is he familiar to me? It turns out I hadn't seen him in anything, but I did find, or like nothing that I found. I found like immediately like relatable or memorable. But I did find out that he was in. He was Max Headroom. I don't know if you know anything about that. That's like an '80s thing.
I don't.
Which I thought I was like, okay, that's very interesting. I did not know that, but yeah, I mean he's supposed to be like that, like the overbearing kind of. We're gonna go outdoors and come on, you gotta be on the sports team and
not big enough to be on the sports team, whatever. Yeah,
but he finally kind of learns to be a little less high strung and
very
put himself on his kids.
Very on the nose, like I don't care about that. I care about you guys. In the end,
yeah.
But I mean, the big appeal for me is definitely the little adventure that's going on. All the little the fun they have along the way. The freaking nasty looking ant and bees that they encounter, and the scorpion.
I love the special effect. I love the stuff with the ant. They use they use puppets, like really big puppets, and then they use stop motion. Like a lot of that stuff is really great. I love all the stuff with the ant is like my favorite stuff. I know it's with the character that because the the little snot nose that you don't really like is like really close to the ant in particular. To me, that's. I kind of agree with you, but that does sort of redeem his character. The fact he has this sort of little relationship with the ant, and I think that's kind of cute. But yeah, everything with the ant is like I love. Except I did get I was a little like because I am I work in pest control, so I know a lot of stuff about insects, and so they were talking about like, oh well, he's a baby one, and I was like, well. Technically, they wouldn't. Babies are not the scavengers, so the fact that we don't see more ants indicates this ant is a scavenger. And actually, the older ants are the ones that they send out to get the food because they're protecting the young ants, the ones that are the breadbasket, the reproductive cycle of the colony. They're protecting those back at the nest, so they send the old ones are the workers. The old female ants are workers, and they send them out to go. So it's actually probably an old female ant, and they just didn't know.
They didn't know.
So that's fine.
They didn't know.
They didn't know. They're just little kids. So it's whatever.
Though the only thing that bothered me was that this ant tried to fight a scorpion.
Yeah, that's a losing bet. An ant would not try to fight a scorpion.
The size is like even way more different than how they showed it. The difference in scale. But I get it. It's kind of like a Jurassic Park, like little buddy tries to fight the huge T-Rex kind of moment.
Except this predates Jurassic Park. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
By like 4 years. I think this is 1989. I think is when this came out. So
I guess I'm thinking more Jurassic World. Or what's his name? Red or Blue?
Blue. You're my
boy Blue. Blue goes and fights the huge dinosaur. Yeah, that kind of. Yeah. I also Rick Moranis was a lot of fun. I think he was good.
Oh yeah, and for sure.
I just found it amazing how this father had like no sense of urgency, where he was pretty unbothered by the fact he could not find his kids, and he was like casual about it. When his wife comes home, and he's like, "Oh no, I haven't seen him since I left in the morning, and also my couch is just missing, my whole couch in the attic." Oh, but this weird.
This is a period of time where kids would go out. This is a Saturday.
Right.
The kids would go out to the mall. They go hang out with their friends. They wouldn't necessarily be
the couch.
Be stuck at home. But the couch. I mean, that is the thing. That's the thing that concerns him the
And there's
most at
glass,
first.
but the glass, there's like broken glass in the window. That couch is missing, and the kids are missing. That doesn't set up
Well, I
any
mean, that
alarm for
eventually it
him.
all clues him. It all clues him in finally, but he does have to find the tiny chair.
It so easily could have gone wrong. Like so easily could have just been stepped on.
Yeah, it's true.
But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. So this is another thing too that's stuck with me through the years. That score, the music, has always stuck with me, and the reason why I think one of the reasons is because James Horner stole a lot of that music.
Okay.
There was a lawsuit about the score of this soundtrack in particular because he never credited the original composer for like any of the themes because like a lot of those are like really old themes that were used in like 50s cartoons and stuff, which is why a lot of it feels it's particularly with the opening credits, which feel very like a 50s cartoon. The reason why that music fits in so perfectly is because like that theme was used basically in with like some old like zany cartoons and stuff when stuff was going on. So it's a fun fact about the soundtrack of it, but it's great. It's very memorable, and I've remembered it ever since I was a little kid. So.
All credit to the composer for that.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I love James Horner. Don't get me wrong, and so does everybody. But everybody makes mistakes. So
yeah, everybody has those days.
Everybody has those days.
Anything else? We had a little love story unfold.
Yeah.
And at some point, they're like making out. Like they're tiny and they're in the grass. They're in a Lego. Always that's how all the love stories start.
Yeah.
And they're just making out. And then even when they're like getting back to full size and everything, they're still obsessed with each other, looking at each other. That's all they care about. They were shrunk.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
True love can happen when you're 4 inches tall.
True love, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's young love, basically. Which is,
Yeah.
I did remember the French joke. I did remember that one. That was another one that I remembered because I feel like I was like Nick and I didn't really get it, and then I think I didn't get it like maybe the first time I saw it, but then I remember when I was in like first or second grade or something, I remember one of my friends told me what that was, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I watched the movie at one time, and I was like, "Oh, I get what that is now."
And saved it till the end for real.
Yeah,
real
that was.
zinger. Boom.
I mean, that was stupid at the end. I actually hated that. But
French class, and that's how they end it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid. But
my question is how do they go about making 2 sequels to this movie? Like, how do they get to that point where you think after such a horrible situation as this, he would take a lot more precautions? But after this, he I know, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is the next one where he freaking makes the baby huge.
Yeah, makes a baby huge.
And then there's
he and his wife have another kid.
Ourselves, where the parents get shrunk. Like, how does that happen? How do you get in these scenarios again?
I don't know. And that one's, I've heard that one is like really not good at all. I do remember. I've never seen that one. I do remember seeing Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Yeah.
And they're in like Las Vegas, I think, in that one, if memory serves.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that. I remember that one much less than that. I think I maybe only saw that maybe once or twice. So I remember that much less than this one, which I saw repeatedly when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But
I liked it because just for me, I feel like that'll probably ruin the charm a little bit if you try to do it again. Because I think this is only works by itself as a little goofy story. It's like, this freaking wacky inventor can't get it right, and then a freaking baseball flies in the window, accidentally sets it off, and shrinks them. Surely this won't happen again. Surely, yeah.
So I remember when I went to Disney World. I think it was Disney Hollywood Studios at the time, and we were there. We had to have been some of the last people to have gone on the Honey, We Shrunk the Ride.
Okay.
Because it closed in 2010, which is the year we went. Like in the summer of 2010, we went in like April 2010. So it had to have closed like maybe a couple months later or something. But it was just kind of one of those like 4D rides where there was some like goofy shenanigans and like like stuff they like wafted scents in there, and then they had like stuff spray under your legs and stuff like that. So they did stuff like that. Like that to me seems like a more appropriate way to go with it for like special effect theme park ride rather than full blown sequel. But I guess they did both. So
yeah.
But I remember that ride being fun for what it was. Just a goofy theme park ride. So yeah.
So overall, I think it's like there's not like too much. You don't have to go too deep into it. It's just like a surface level fun family movie to enjoy.
Yeah, pretty harmless, pretty fun, and pretty, I would say, overall well constructed. So one thing that I would also say about this, it was the directorial debut of Joe Johnston, who is a director that I've come to realize I've liked most of his movies, because he made, after this, he went on to direct The Rocketeer, which is a movie that I very much love, that I only saw relatively recently, and I love that movie. And he also would later go on to direct Captain America: The First Avenger, which I think he probably got the directorial role for that, for directing The Rocketeer, because those movies have very similar sort of themes and settings. They're set during World War II, so I can feel like the technological stuff with the special effects and stuff. I get what he did with The Rocketeer at the early beginnings of what he did in that with this movie too, because there's definitely like a lot of that like special effects stuff utilization in this movie. So
I really like how he did that too. Whereas some movies you go for the really bad CGI and it doesn't age as well. I feel like this ages pretty well, considering it's got just a little bit of that 80s charm to it. But
some of the jank is really only in the B sequence that I can think of.
Yeah,
like where some of the way that's filmed is like, whoa, like it feels like it actually is like, oh, like it's almost upsetting a little bit, but it's very brief. And it is definitely, that's the thing. This movie does feel very, very much in the 80s. It's a late 80s film, but it does still exude that charm. And I really like it. I still like it now. So it's held up. You helped us fight. The wheel finally spoke to us again.
That's good. The wheel's spoken.
Yeah. So
what score do you give Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I think I give it a solid 8. It's nothing like too amazing or spectacular, but it's a fun movie that I really enjoyed, and I'd easily watch it again. Mm-hmm. So just like I did when I was younger.
For me, by its very nature, I can't get above an 8. So like it's just one of those movies where it's not like freaking excellent like top 10 movie, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So for me, it's between a 7.5 and 8 is where I'm at. But I go for an 8. I go for an 8 on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Tarqaron score 8 out of 10.
Yeah. There you go.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's fun. Yeah.
And so now that brings it as the second place of chance time movies behind Thor. At the moment.
I think did that give us a solid 8.25? Was that 8.25 or
8.5?
What was
maybe.
That?
It might have been 8.5.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. Chance time. Gotta do more of it. Spin that wheel, see what it gives us. Hopefully some more good.
Hope so.
In the meantime, what video would you recommend our viewers watch?
You should go check out our review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is another great family movie.
It is. It is. And subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, click the links in the description for our social media. All right. I'll see you next time.